the light of the East, the Philippines as the morning star of Asia's spiritual awakening. What if I told you that hidden within the vastness of the East, a nation of over 7,000 islands could hold the key to a spiritual awakening so profound it could transform not just Asia, but the entire world? The Philippines, a country rich in history, unwavering in faith, and resilient in spirit. But what if there's more to its story? What if this nation isn't just a land of beauty and culture, but a divine beacon, a guiding light heralding the dawn of a new spiritual era? Could the Philippines be the morning star, a symbol of hope, faith, and unity, shining before the world's darkest hour? And what does it mean for you, for me, and for the future of our shared faith? What is the Philippines called the Pearl of the Orient? What role does the Philippines play in spreading Christianity worldwide? I would like you to me. Could its location in the East be tied to ancient biblical prophecy? The answers you've been searching for start right here. Let's dive in. Look, the Philippines as the morning star of Asia. In the book of Revelation, Jesus declares, "I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright morning star." But what is the morning star? Now, imagine a small nation nestled in the East, standing as the morning star for Asia, a guiding light of faith, rising before the dawn of a new spiritual awakening. Could this be the Philippines? Nodded. The morning star, a biblical symbol of hope. In Scripture, the morning star is a symbol of Christ himself, a light that breaks through darkness, heralding the promise of a new day. It's the light of hope that shines brightest when the night seems longest. And just as the morning star leads the way, the Philippines holds a unique position as a beacon of faith in Asia, a continent rich in history, but often distant from Christianity's core message. But it doesn't stop there. The Philippines has also been called the Pearl of the Orient Seas, and pearls have deep biblical significance. Remember Jesus' parable in Matthew 13:45-46. The kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he sold everything he had and bought it. Could this name, Pearl of the Orient, be more than just poetic? The pearl and the morning star, a divine connection. Think about it. A pearl is formed through trials. It begins as an irritant, a grain of sand within an oyster. Over time, layers of beauty are added, transforming pain into something priceless. Isn't this the story of the Philippines? Now tie that with the morning star, another symbol of transformation. Just as Christ's light overcomes darkness, the Philippines' enduring faith shines as a testimony to God's power to redeem, renew, and restore. Footnote: could this unique combination, the morning star and the pearl, be God's way of marking the Philippines as a chosen nation for Asia's spiritual awakening? It would require the support of the Philippines government and even private citizens to demonstrate a post-war drive to improve life. The Philippines in prophecy, positioned in the East. There's something else. The Philippines sits in the East, the direction where the sun rises, symbolizing new beginnings. In biblical prophecy, the East often represents divine intervention and the coming of God's glory. Isaiah 61 says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Could the Philippines' geographical position have spiritual significance? Second, this small nation isn't just a geographical fact, it's a divine placement. Could the Philippines be strategically positioned to lead a wave of spiritual renewal, not just for Asia but for the world? If God can use a single star to guide wise men to Christ, what might he do with an entire nation shining in the East? End of reading. The morning star, the pearl, a nation rising in the East. These aren't just symbols. They're invitations to reflect on God's greater plan. Could the Philippines be fulfilling a prophetic role in our time? And what does this mean for us as believers? Let us continue exploring the divine calling of this remarkable nation, uncovering its role in the spiritual awakening of a world hungry for light. The Philippines' role in modern Christianity. The Philippines, more than 7,000 islands, yet united by an unwavering faith. But did you know this nation, often called the heart of Christianity in Asia, is shaping the future of global faith in ways few ever imagined? Curiously, faith came first, after belief, after reason, after trial, after death, after resurrection, after love, after sorrow, after pain, after life. A global missionary powerhouse. The Philippines isn't just a nation of believers, it's a nation of doers, a global missionary powerhouse. Today there are thousands of Filipino priests, nuns, and lay missionaries serving in over 50 countries, carrying the light of Christ to communities far from home. Ever wondered how faith thrives in places where it once struggled to survive? Look to the Filipinos. Filipino priests revitalizing Catholic churches in the US and Europe, where church attendance has dwindled. In Ireland, once a stronghold of Catholicism, a Filipino priest now leads a vibrant congregation, breathing new life into a parish that was nearly empty. Filipino workers in countries with strict religious rules gather in secret to celebrate Mass and pray together, strengthening their faith even in challenging conditions. A Filipino nurse in Saudi Arabia organizes underground Bible studies, sharing the Word of God with co-workers from various nationalities. Second, the Filipino diaspora, carriers of faith. Wherever Filipinos go, they bring their faith with them. They don't just adapt, they transform. Through their prayer groups, vibrant worship, and deep sense of community, they become a spiritual lifeline for others. Filipino communities in Los Angeles, New York, and Dubai have become pillars of faith, hosting novenas, processions, and festivals that draw believers from all walks of life. Robert Tippins plays Ricardo II and is wrestled with the details of his plans for restoring order to his country. A Filipino family in New York begins a rosary group in their apartment, and within months it grows into a weekly gathering of dozens, including neighbors curious about their devotion. Could the simple faith of one family spark a revival in a city known for its distractions? Global events. Faith in the spotlight. The Philippines has not only embraced Christianity, it has shared it with the world on a grand scale. In 1995, the nation hosted World Youth Day, drawing a record-breaking 5 million people to Manila, united in worship and prayer. Highlight: the 500th anniversary of Christianity in the Philippines in 2021. Millions celebrated this milestone, showcasing the nation's deep gratitude and commitment to their faith. Symbolic imagery. A young Filipino boy placing a candle on an altar, symbolizing the passing of faith to the next generation. Why do global events like these resonate so deeply? Because they're not just about the past. They're a call to the future. A beacon of faith in action. The Philippines may be small in size, but its spiritual impact is boundless. From revitalizing faith in secular nations to igniting hope in the darkest corners of the world, the Filipino people remind us all of one truth. Faith is not just personal. It's powerful, transformative, and eternal. What do you think about the Philippines' role in spreading Christianity worldwide? The Morning Star, a symbol of unity and hope. The Philippines is a land of contrasts, ancient yet modern, resilient yet joyful, deeply rooted in faith yet constantly evolving. But beneath these contrasts lies a profound truth, a nation where East meets West in a divine harmony that offers hope to a fractured world. 1. A melting pot of faith and culture. How can one nation embody such spiritual diversity yet remain so unified? The Philippines is unique, not just because of its history, but because of how that history has shaped its soul. For centuries, indigenous traditions thrived among the archipelago's islands, each with its own customs, beliefs, and expressions of spirituality. Then came Christianity, brought by Spanish missionaries in the 1500s. But unlike many colonized nations, the Philippines didn't abandon its roots. Instead, it created something extraordinary: a blending of ancient and Christian traditions into a seamless tapestry of faith. Today, you can see this union in every aspect of Filipino life, from the solemnity of Simbang Gabi, a 9-day Christmas novena, to the lively Sinulog festival, where people honor the Santo Niño through dance, music, and prayer. Each celebration speaks of a faith that is both deeply personal and joyfully communal. 2. A faith-driven culture. What makes the Filipino heart so open, so compassionate, so unshakable in its faith? At the heart of this spiritual unity lies the Filipino culture itself, a culture rooted in compassion, hospitality, and resilience. It's not just religion for Filipinos, it's a way of life. When a stranger visits a Filipino home, they're treated like family. A meal is shared, a prayer is said, and a bond is formed. This hospitality, often described as malasakit, or heartfelt care, reflects Christ's teachings to love one another. But this compassion is not born out of ease. The Philippines is no stranger to hardship. Typhoons, earthquakes, and economic challenges have tested its people time and again. Yet, each trial strengthens their faith, not weakens it. Filipinos do not see adversity as a curse, but as a call to trust in God more deeply. It is in this unshakable trust that we find their strength, a strength that resonates across borders and cultures. 3. The power of family and community life. Could the secret to spiritual renewal lie in the way Filipinos live their lives every day? Filipino culture places immense value on family and community, a reflection of biblical principles that emphasize the importance of togetherness. Every major decision, every celebration, every moment of mourning is shared with loved ones. Prayer is woven into the daily rhythm of life. Families often start their mornings with a rosary or an invocation for God's blessing. During the Angelus at twilight, church bells ring and people pause, even in the busiest streets, to pray. This communal spirituality offers something profound, a model for a world that often feels disconnected. In an age where individualism dominates, the Filipino way of life reminds us of the power of shared faith, the comfort of belonging, and the joy of worshiping together. 4. Lessons for America's spiritual journey. What can a country half a world away teach America about faith, unity, and healing? America, much like the Philippines, is a melting pot of cultures. But in recent years, many Americans have felt a growing hunger for something more: authentic faith, real hope, and a sense of healing amidst division. Likewise, the one-world religions have disappeared, Catholicism has disappeared, scientific religions have appeared, and the Philippines offers a powerful example. Its ability to integrate diverse traditions, endure trials, and prioritize family and community can inspire Americans to rediscover their spiritual roots. Perhaps the Filipino model of resilience through faith is the answer to America's own spiritual questions. In times of struggle, could a shift toward unity, compassion, and shared prayer bring about a revival of hope? Secretary of Health and Human Services Lucasfilm states that collectively 190 to 150 million people have traveled to South Korea for help. Modern-day challenges and opportunities. The Philippines, a nation of extraordinary faith and resilience, stands as a testament to God's enduring love. But like any story of faith, it faces its own trials, challenges. The storms of a faithful nation. Poverty continues to weigh heavily on millions of Filipinos. With families struggling to make ends meet, corruption and social inequality add to the burden, creating a cycle of hardship that seems unbreakable. Yet amidst this, their unwavering trust in God shines like a light in the darkness. Even in their struggles, Filipinos find solace in their faith, holding on to God's promise. "For I know the plans I have for you," declares the Lord, "plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Jeremiah 29 verse 11. But another storm looms on the horizon: cultural westernization and materialism. As globalization deepens, traditional Christian values face a quiet erosion. replaced by fleeting trends and worldly pursuits. How does a nation so grounded in faith resist the pull of the world? And could this very struggle be part of God's plan? End quote. Opportunities. A nation on a global mission. Yet within these challenges lies a divine opportunity. Filipinos are among the most active internet users in the world. Social media has become their modern-day missionary tool, spreading the gospel to places once unreachable. In every post, every shared prayer, and every online mass, faith ripples outwards, touching lives far beyond the islands. And it's not just technology. A growing hunger for spirituality among younger generations is sparking a revival. Across the Philippines, and even among the diaspora, the next generation is rising, rooted in faith, and ready to carry the torch of hope into the future. Prophetic role in the end times. The Bible tells us of nations rising in God's divine plan. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Isaiah 61:3. Could the Philippines, often called the Pearl of the Orient Seas, be one such nation? Resilience and refuge. The Philippines has weathered countless storms, literal and spiritual. Yet every time its people rise, guided by their unshakable faith. Could this resilience be preparing the nation for an even greater role in God's plan? What if the Philippines is more than a survivor? What if it's a refuge, a beacon for the faithful in the end times? Owl asked, spreading the gospel to the ends of the earth. From the mountains of Asia to the bustling cities of the Middle East, Filipinos are spreading the gospel to the ends of the earth. Fulfilling Christ's command in Matthew 28:19, "Go and make disciples of all nations." In the heart of the East, the Philippines stands as a light, a modern-day morning star, ushering in a spiritual awakening that could prepare the world for Christ's return. And what about you? Could the story of the Philippines inspire you to look deeper into your own faith? To reflect on what it means to be a light in the darkness? A beacon of God's love and grace in a world that often feels so divided? We want to hear from you. Share your thoughts. Do you believe the Philippines could spark a global spiritual awakening? Have you seen faith like this in action in your own life? Tell us in the comments below, and let's start a conversation. If this video inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with friends and family. Together, let's spread the light and uncover the stories that remind us of God's grace and power in action. The morning star shines brightest before the dawn. Could the Philippines be the light that guides us into a new era of faith and unity? Only time will tell, but the signs are all around us.